That would be, talk about different. That would be so fun. So, what are your predictions? Reach out to us. We want to know. What will your predictions be on who is hooking up on the Lua Nova Zodiac Island? Who's going to be long lasting? But who of the one Zodiac is going to win all of it? I have my own predictions, but during part 2, you will be learning all about the rooms that each of the Zodiac is staying in and how they're all switching different rooms and how that works. Okay. So for now, let's wrap it up by starting with your collective reading. I hope you have enjoyed the Lua Nova Zodiac Island series part 1. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you want me to do another series like this in the future. New moons, you know the vibes. You do. The vibes didn't change. Even though I'm surrounded by storage boxes that are all taped up, the vibes didn't change, even if they changed physically. I do not do spiritual work without consent, so let's talk about the pink unicorn in the room. To read the entire disclaimer, go to luanovapodcast.net, okay? And part of that disclaimer, the smaller portion of it, is right there in the show notes for you to read as well. If you do not consent to having your tarot cards read, that is perfectly fine. I will talk to you soon. Okay. If you want to listen to the angel number reading, you can, go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. For everybody else, Spirit, what is the message for them? And hold on just a second before we jump in. 1 second. I just want to say, for those who maybe don't understand today's concept, it was teaching you how each zodiac sign manifests, okay, and how they win, quote unquote, throughout their entire life. I used the example of how a dating show, okay, and how they would go about it each zodiac would go about it on a show. And I do know that these are the stereotypes of each zodiac, because not every Virgo is organized. Not every Scorpio comes across as mysterious, and not every Leo is very bold. Okay. In fact, I've met actually quite a few very quiet Leos. So it does depend on the rest of your birth chart. So if you think to yourself, well, I don't really act like my sun sign, then it has a lot to do with the rest of your birth chart. You could be, for instance, you can identify a lot with your rising sign. You can identify a lot with your moon sign, or you can have a lot of another sign in your birth chart like I do. Like I said, I have a Libra stellium, which means that the sign of Libra shows up in my birth chart at least 3 times. So you might have a Capricorn stellium or a Virgo stellium, but then you might be a Leo sun. Okay. And so that is where those personality traits do come from. That is what that is what they study. Okay. And I wanted to do it my own way. I wanted to make it fun. And I hope I did that. And I know I forgot some things, but I forget things every episode, guys, because my docket can only do so much. My team can only do so much. All right, Spirit, now we're ready. Spirit, let's do at least 2 cards. Okay. All right. We recently got this card, but I love it. The 6 of Wands. Okay. Celebrating a little bit. Celebration time, Virgo. I see you. And Spirit, can I get one more? Please. Oh. I'm sorry. The card fell. I'm trying to grab it. Oh. This is a luxurious reading. You know what, Spirit? Let's leave it at a 2-card reading today, because unfortunately I have a lot to do. And I want to, I like doing the longer episodes, but sometimes I don't have the time to. But Spirit, we're going to leave it at a 2-card reading, and thank you for your help. Starting off with the 6 of Wands. You know what? Yeah, I like that. Hell yeah. I like that. I like that you're receiving the recognition that you deserve. Every time I see this, especially because I only read cards that are upright, I always know that you are finally either recognizing yourself for your hard work or you're being recognized. So I want to say congratulations to you for that. I also see, of course, some Virgos tuning in because it is birthday season. So you are finally receiving something that you wanted. And you might be doing what I do a lot of the time, where you wait until your birthday comes to make a big purchase or to make a big step in your life, because this is your new year. So Virgo, I definitely recommend that for this season, especially with 2 new moons in the sign of Virgo. That is not common. I did talk about that on a previous episode. So, or is that the episode after this? It would have had to have been before this. But yes, I talk more about that in depth, so I won't go into that now. But this is also a time that where I want you to, for instance, take that moon water and actually do something with it. Okay? I know you make moon water all of the time. If you're not familiar, you're new to the show. Moon water is when you take a glass bottle, that's what I recommend, or a glass jar, and you put spring water or purified water into it, and you leave it out during the moon. So especially during a new moon phase or a full moon phase, okay? So of course, when there's a new moon, you can't see the moon. It's, it just looks like a blank sky. And you can also do this during a waxing moon phase. Honestly, you can do whatever phase of the moon you want, but this is just typically when people do this. And the full moon is typically another time that is just as popular as the new moon. You leave that water out there until the sun comes up. And for those of you who wonder, I get asked this question a lot. I'm sure other witches do as well. Yes, it's perfectly fine if you leave it out there when the sun comes up. The sun is constant, so it's fine. And if you're planning to drink it, I do recommend, being careful about how long you're leaving it out there. But that gets more into the safety of the water. If you're not planning to drink it, then just know it's fine. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't stop being moon water. You can say that it's dual and it's moon and sun water. That's perfectly fine as well. But I want you to actually do something with that moon water, because I'm speaking to myself here as well. I will collect moon water and then be like, what was this for? Because I didn't label it. And now several moon phases have gone by and I don't remember what it's for or what I wanted to do with it. A lot of the time I do put mine on my altars, but you can use moon water to bathe and cleanse yourself in. You can cleanse your spiritual tools, but I want you to actually use that water. And if you are new to the show, you can also keep in mind, you can also use moon water to manifest. And in the future, and I'm not sure if it's for Patreon yet only or not, but I will be redoing an episode where I talk about the importance of using water in your manifestations and how to go about that. There was even a study done by an actual doctor on this. So that's something I'll be talking about in the future. But my new moons, the Six of Wands energy is telling me that it's time for you to use that moon water to celebrate. It is time for you to use that moon water to manifest. Okay. What is it that you want to draw in? Remember, like attracts like. That is the law of attraction. And to end today's reading is one of my favorites when it comes to any sort of manifestation, anything about the universal laws, and it is the Empress. The Empress, not only is she abundant, but everything about her is luxury. Everything about her is fabulous. Think Taurus, Libra, Leo energy. Think wearing a crown just because you feel like it. Think I'm drinking out of a wine glass and there's nothing in this but tap water. Think I'm going to make everything in my life luxurious. I'm going to celebrate every moment of my life. And that is what I am advising you to do this week. I want you to celebrate yourself in a way that you don't typically do. Okay, so if for you that means, today instead of eating a Pop-Tart for breakfast, today I'm actually going to buy something I really wanted. I'm going to buy that croissant. Sorry, French listeners. I know I just screwed up how to say that. I'm going to take a moment during my lunch break to actually have a moment for me and what I wanted to do and reflect and listen to my favorite music or listen to classical music, listen to meditation music to really get my mind right. But I'm going to add in a little bit of luxury this week. Okay. I'm going to put my pinky up. I actually already do that. And it's not a flex. It's just something weird I've done apparently since I was a baby. I want to know how many of you do that too. I would love to know. But that's the energy that I want you to this entire week and this entire Virgo season to be about, is luxury, is taking care of ourselves, because especially Virgo, I get this feeling that a lot of my listeners, you tend to take care of everyone else. Cancer, I'm definitely picking up on that. That is something that you're known for as well, where it's always about what everybody else needs first. And what have I said to you many times? It's this one saying that people say over and over and over again, even outside of manifestation teachings. And it is that I can't fill your cup if mine is empty. And so yours isn't quite empty, but it's getting there. And so I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to be better to yourself. I want you to be kinder to yourself this week. And I want you to do something luxurious, even if that notice I didn't say expensive. I said luxurious.